G'day Argy crew, hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. This video is for anybody who's thinking of joining the pickup, the Argy Transport pickup, and also for anybody who's thinking of joining any other VTM through pickup. This will also be helpful. It's going to be a fully comprehensive step-by-step walkthrough of how you go about registering at pickup and then finding a company that you want to become part of and how you go about applying for that. And also we'll cover some of the questions that we've had about how things operate within pickup. Like I say, it will be fully comprehensive, so this might be quite a long video, but I'll try and put timestamps in where I can to help you find what you're looking for. Alright, so before we get started, if you do want to become a part of the Argy Transport company, virtual trucking company, you can find the links down in the description, and also there'll be links to my Discord, and you're more than welcome to join either one or both. And yeah, hopefully you will do that, because we're looking for more drivers from all over the world. We have no minimum mileage requirements, etc. We just enjoy having fun, doing convoys, and we do put in the miles, and even though we're, like I said, there are no minimum requirements, we're still up there with the top 10 in our chosen categories. Anyway, so yes, all that being said, so here we are in pickup, and the first thing you'll need to do is go to pickup. I'll leave a link to the pickup website in the description. You then need to register first with pickup before you choose a company. So, and it's very easy. I'm not going to go through all the steps, but you click on register, you fill out this form, you click register, they'll send you some information in your email, you then follow that, and then you become a registered member of pickup. Once you've done that, you then can log in to pickup. So you would then click login and fill out your details. It's always good to click remember me, that way whenever you come back, you can just straight away log in without having to remember your email and password. But for now, I'm going to leave that off because it's just a presentation. And once you've logged in, this is what you'll be presented with. This is the home page of your dashboard within pickup VTM. And down the side here, you have all your links for everything you need to find out about pickup. You can create your own company. You can find a company. Ooh, and there we are. Look at that. Up there with the top ones again, like I was saying. Woohoo, flash. Anyway, then you've got any companies that you've applied for. You'll have the information here. You have a small amount of information. That's why I'm making this video, because unfortunately the information you have on pickup on its actual website is very minimal. It's written there. You'll be able to read all about that. You can pause the video and check it out if you want. Then you'll have your rankings as a user, where people are ranked. And as you can see, they have them there. And as companies, as you can see, right there. And we go to ATS, we should be there somewhere. There we are. Argy Transport, we're in position 8 as of this recording. And ETS we don't do as well, because that's because we don't have as many ETS2 drivers. So if you're an ETS2 driver, please think about joining our company. Like I say, we have great fun. We run convoys nearly every night of the week and every day of the week. And like I say, a great bunch of drivers. We all get along really well and help each other out. Then you have lists, player lists, company lists. I'm not going to go through all that. Then you have the wiki, which is, I hate to say it, basically useless, because it doesn't give you much to go by. But again, that's what this video is all about, is to cover that. And then you have a link for the pickup client. I'll get onto that in the tech. Have a link to their Discord. You have your profile. You have your logbook. And you have the dispatcher. All right, so that covers them. That's very in brief about what they are. I'll go through everything that you really need to know. in a tech. So there's two ways to find a company. Okay, there's the click and find company, and then you just click on the company name and it takes you to the company. Or in my situation where I provide a link to the company. Yeah. So there's two ways, like I say, either getting an invite and clicking on the link, or coming in here and clicking find company and choosing one of the companies that you want to apply for. But in this situation, we're going to apply for Argy Transport because that's my company, and very proud of it, and very proud of the drivers that are in it because they do a fantastic job. So once you come in here to apply to the company, what you need to do is you need to find this little bluish peel, whatever color you want to call it, suitcase underneath the name of the company that you're applying for. It will be there, and they'll have a little trophy room so you can see what trophies they've got. Last month we got 2 trophies. We didn't come first, second, or third, but we came very close. And then here, you, like I say, you'll have the apply, and that's where you actually apply to join the company. You have all the details of the company over here on the right, and you can see where the company, or when the company started. And then down here there's a little description where it tells you about the company. It tells you their divisions. We do biohazard fruit, farming and fuel. At the moment that's all there is. There's 4 divisions. There is going to be an update to PickUp very soon, and I'm not sure if you'll get more divisions, but we've been told that the divisions will be greatly improved, and they're pretty good as they are already. We've got a partner in independent owner operators, so you can see how many partners people have got. We've just recently partnered up with these guys, great bunch of drivers as well. And then you have the employees down the bottom here, me, Argy Bargy, and Kiwi Rob, our CEO. And then you have your division managers, etc., and drivers as you go through here. You can check them all out. Anyway, so then what you would do, is that all? Employees, down the bottom here. I think that's it. Yes, covered that. All right, so then what you would do is once you want to apply, you would click apply. And then it says, you sure you want to apply to Argy Transport? And then you would say, okay. And it says apply created with success. All right, so now what's happened is there's been a application sent to the company. Now what I'll do is I'll open another page here and show you. If I bring this over, this is my page, and in management I now have an application that has been received. I'll click that and I will accept it by hiring the user, give them a contract at 75% and say hire user. Okay, successful. So if you're a manager, that's how simple it is to accept a recruit. And back here, after that, you have to come back here and refresh the page, because now you have a contract that you have to sign. And as you can see here, this is your contract with Argy Transport. They're telling you that you'll get 75% of the coins, and I'll explain the coins later. And that the offer is at this date, which is today's date and time. You would then have a look at it, and it tells you benefits. Your cargoes will receive a bonus of 10% coins. The contract, you will receive 75%, and the company will receive 25% of the final coins of every delivery you make. And that is standard across the board. That's what most drivers get. Managers get a little bit more, and owners get a little bit more than that. But that's standard. So if someone offers you that or more, then you're doing well. And then all you need to do is click accept and say okay. Now you're a member of the company, and here you are at the company. And again, you can see everything that you need to see there. But now you also have a few other things over here on the side. You have your profile. which was normal on the other one. You have your dashboard, which was normal when you just registered. But you now have your logbook, which will start showing your jobs and deliveries here, and your monthly stats. And then you have dispatcher. So if there's any jobs that have been dispatched within the company, they'll be here. And as you can see, there are none. And I'll get onto that in a little bit later. But to sum it up, it doesn't work that great. So that's why we don't really use it. And you don't need to, so don't panic. Then you have the company. Again, coming back to the company one here, you can go through that. Any announcements that have been made. This is back from when we started in PickUp as a test period. It was going about, and then our first division announcement. Okay, what we'll do after we've had a look at this, we'll skip over divisions because I'll come back to them because they're an integral part of PickUp, but at the beginning they're not something that you'd probably be worried about. But so we'll come back to that. Okay, so the basics. Let's take a look at the basics. So the basic premise of PickUp is that you do jobs just like you normally would in the game, and it will log your jobs, and therefore you will get paid PickUp coins for each job that you do. Now you have a log that you can look at, and as you can see here, because this is a new profile, there's no jobs in there. But what I'll do is I'll bring this other window over again, and I'll show you my logbook so you can see what it looks like. So as you can see, it will log all your jobs, and you've got upwards of 11 pages there of jobs that I've done, and it shows you the profit that you've made per job. In other words, the coins that you've been paid. Some of them are quite good payouts, others are only 1 coin or whatever. But I do a lot of testing, so therefore, or testing and demos and videos. So therefore, a lot of my jobs are intermittent, meaning that some are long, some are short. So therefore, you get this varied distance and varied coin profit that you make. So the basics is that you can continue just doing the jobs that you normally do, and you don't have to worry about getting dispatched jobs from the dispatcher. Because like I say, this dispatcher doesn't work that well. But if you're a member of Trucksbook, you can use Trucksbook Dispatcher, or you can use Truckie Dispatcher, and it will still log in here. Now to get this to all work, the number one thing you need to do, let me get rid of that, is you need to download the PickUp client and install it on your computer. Now the PickUp client is down here in the bottom left corner of your profile, or of your menu, sorry. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. And then all you simply do is you click here to download it, save it to your downloads. Once it's downloaded, you then simply open it up. Now, you'll need a zip program to unzip it. I use 7-zip. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. All you do is extract this folder to wherever you want to put it, right? Because this is your PickUp program. So you extract that to wherever you want to put it. And once it's extracted to where you want it to be placed, open it up. And in here, you're looking for the PickUp EXE. And then you would click on that. And once you click on that, it will open up like so. This is what you're presented with. And in here, the first thing you'll need to do is go to the little spanner and screwdriver icon here. Click on that. And in here, you will put the path to your games. Okay, not the one in documents, but the one in your actual library. All right, so it'll be Steam Library, whatever drive you've got your Steam Library on. It will be Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Euro Truck Simulator for the Euro Truck Simulator one. In fact, I'll show you, that's probably the best way. So I've got mine on H drive, but it depends on where you've put your Steam Library, wherever that is. You'll need to use that one. So it will be Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common. For Euro Truck Simulator, it would be Euro Truck Simulator, bin 64, and Euro Truck EXE. Okay, so the path to it would be, if we copy the address, whatever drive you're putting it on, theme library, theme apps, common, Euro Truck Simulator 2, bin, Win64 / Euro Trucks 2 or Eurotruck2.exe. So if you look at this and we click change, we would do this, Euro Truck Simulator 2, bin 64, and then that, and click OK. And now that is in there. And the same goes for your American Truck Simulator. So all you do is you look for Steam Library, Steam App, Common, Euro Truck Simulator or American Truck Simulator, and the actual EXE program, and put that in there. So again, when you're doing it for American Truck Simulator, go to bin 64, look for this, click open, and now it's in there. All right, so that's the first thing you do when you're setting up, so that it knows where the path is to the games. Now you can set up a warning system here to notify you when you're going over the speed threshold that you're expected to stay under in the game. So if you've got any questions about that, it's quite simple. You just click on warning sound, set it to whatever you want here, and then your truck will be notified, or your game will notify you with a warning sound that you're now proceeding to go over that threshold. If you've got a multiplayer like Truckers MP, you can then select the path here and put it in there as well. You can choose dark mode or light mode, whichever you prefer. I prefer dark mode. And you can choose run at startup, which I do. That way you know that it's always on in the background and that it will be recording all your jobs. So again, path to the Euro Truck Simulator, path to American Truck Simulator, set your warning sounds. If you want them on, I don't have them on because I have them on in my Trucksbook. Put your multiplayer path there if you've got it. I have, but I don't use multiplayer anymore. You can choose dark or light mode. You can choose to have a launch intro or not. I don't worry about it because I know it's on because I've got run at startup. And that's how you set it up. Quite simple. And again, in here, you've got your stats, which shows your stats for the month and your stats for all time. You've got your logbook, which shows the jobs that you've done. You've got your dispatcher, so if there's any jobs that are in dispatch for you, you can take them here. I don't use dispatcher because it very seldom works correctly. This is your company. This will show you the drivers that are currently operating. Anything with a green square on the corner means that they're actually currently in game doing something. Ones with red means they're not. As you can see down here, online drivers 6, offline 23. Then you've got your radio. By clicking that on, you can choose a radio station that will play in the background. I don't use that because I mostly do streaming or video recording, and I don't want to get hit with copyright. And this here logs you out. You don't want to do that. You want to keep that logged in at all times. This here takes you to your mail in PickUp if you've got any, and this here takes you to the PickUp website. Don't close it down with the X, just minimize it with the blue, and that way you know that it's still running in the background. So that's that. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll explain to you Okay, so with the coins and how the coins work, what are pickup coins? So pickup coins were created in order to have more features that require a type of currency. Right now you can use coins to upgrade the company or buy company divisions. So that's what coins are used for at the current moment. How do you get pickup coins? You receive pickup coins according to the distance driven in deliveries. Okay, the amount that you receive is equal to the distance driven multiplied by 0.3. Example, if you drive 1,500 kilometers, you multiply that by 0.3, you get 450 coins. If the weight of the cargo exceeds 24 tons, the multiplier will be now 0.35. Example, if you travel 1,500 kilometers, times that by 0.35, it equals 525. So that's how you get the coins, and it's very simple. It's just multiplied by 0.3 or 0.35 if you're over 24 tons. Okay, pay attention to this part because it gets very complicated, but once you know how to work this out, you'll be able to work out exactly what I'm talking about. If that wasn't any clearer than mud, I apologize. But for some reason, he's made this extremely complicated when it doesn't have to be. All right, so how do I lose pickup coins? The way that you lose pickup coins is simple. If you've got damage, it depends on the damage percentage that you've got. You're allowed up to 35% damage before you lose everything, right? So if you've got greater than 35% damage, you will lose all your coins and you'll actually end up with a negative result. But let's stick with this one for the time being to show you what happens if it's under the 35%. So what they're saying here is if your damage equals 10% and you earn 2,100 coins on the job, you'll end up with only 1,491 coins. Now to work this out, what I did, because I'm no mathematician, is I copied this and then I went to Google and I pasted it into Google. And it came up with this calculation here, which is 0.28. So I'm guessing, and I was correct, that it was 29% is what you would lose. So if you then use your calculator and you type in 2,100 minus 29% equals 1,491, which that is. Right, because what I did was I rounded it up. I saw 28.5 or whatever, so I thought, okay, I'll round it up to 29, and that's what he's done. He's rounded it up to 29% is what you would lose. All right, so you're losing 29%. Okay, so then if you, for example, exceed the 35% damage, you will not gain any pickup points, and you will lose that percentage of pickup points from your balance. Example, if you get 50% damage and you earn 2,100 coins, it's 50 divided by 100 divided by blah, blah, blah. What I did again was I copied and pasted that into Google and it came up with, whoops, wrong one, came up with this, 1.428, blah, blah. So I thought, okay, that means 143% because I rounded it up. And again, if you do that with your calculator, let's clear that out of there. 2,100 minus 143, I said, wasn't it? I think so. Equals 903, minus 903. So that's how you simply work out what you're going to get if you're damaged. So that's how you gain and lose coins. Or sorry, this is how you lose coins by damage. All right, now that that's as clear as mud, we'll move on to the next bit. So remember, Google is your friend when it comes to these types of calculations, because I couldn't work out how to work it out until I did that. Okay, so if you have your fines disabled, you'll only get 30% of the final value, meaning that it's 70% less that you're getting if you have your fines turned off. So it's if you're looking to make more coins, keep your fines activated. All right. So if you have your fines disabled, you only get 30% of the final value. So keep them on if you're looking to get more coins, because you're going to lose 70% of your coins. All right. Each fine has a fixed value that will be taken from the final value. So if you get hit with a red light, you'll lose 30 coins. If you get hit with speeding, you'll lose 30 coins. Wrong way, you lose 70 coins. So steer clear of the wrong ways. Okay? So again here, you get a red light fine, 1. You get 2 speeding fines, and you get 0 wrong way fines. 2,100 again, it's minus 90, as you can see. So 1 is 30, 2 is 90. So minus 90, you get 2,010. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So that's how you lose the coins. Again, if you want to do the calculations, just put them in Google and let Google do the mind work. All right, so the next part, what cargoes are valid to get pickup points? Only deliveries with a maximum speed of 180 kilometers an hour will be accepted to receive pickup points. In other words, if you do over 180 kilometers an hour, whether it's in ATS or ETS, your jobs won't count. Okay? Only deliveries with a maximum speed under, you should have put, 180 kilometers an hour will be accepted to receive pickup points. So you cannot go over 180 if you want to keep your coins. And if you're doing that fast anyway, you'll probably get hit with fines and you'll end up losing most of your money anyway. So that's the way pickup coins work. So over here, you click on finances and you'll see in here that it gives you a tally of all the jobs that are being done. The date that they've been done, what type it is, delivery, of course, and then the amount of coins that have been earned for the company in here. This is for the company, not for the individual driver. If you want to see what your, as an individual driver, if you want to see what you actually earned for that, you have to go to your logbook, have a look at what you actually earned for it. But that's the percentage that the company makes here. All right. So if you see that and you think, oh, I only made 57, let's go to Wrinkly. And actually, we can't do it in this one because it's not the manager's window. Let's go over here. This is manager's window because I'm the owner. I've got access to this. And using Wrinkly, good old Wrinkly. There's a lane named after him. We go in here. We have a look at his logbook. And we have a look at that job. Let me just check what it was. It was on the... Well, let's just have a look at that. It was Istanbul to Marseille. All right, so we'll have a look for that one. It will obviously be at the end because they're the most common. So he made 171 coins, as you can see. So personally, out of that job, he made 171. And for the company, he made 57. So his split is 171. So that's what he made. And for the company, he made 57. All right. So if you come in here and you think, oh, I only got 57. No, you got a lot more than that. It's just that that's what the company split is. And then if you go to your logbook and have a look at your last job, that's what you actually earned, 171. So hopefully that explains it. So he gets 75% and the company got 25%. So that's how finances works in that finance section there. If you want to look at your personal finances, you have to go into your own profile to have a look. Now, if you feel that way inclined that you want to donate some money to the company that you've built up and you've got a heap of funds in your kitty. Now, if you look up here, I've got, at the current time, I've got 2,359 in my coins because of the jobs that I've been doing, and I've accumulated that amount of coins. If I want to donate that, I can go to finances and I can click donate, let's say I'll donate 1,000. I just type in 1,000 and I click OK. And now my donation is complete and it was successfully done. I click OK and you'll see it come up here. So as you can see, it's got here, donation, 1,000, my name and the date. So that's how you would donate to the company. So the little green donate underneath the piggy wig, click that, put in the amount you want, click OK, and it will come up here that you've donated to the company. All right, so that's really the finances in a nutshell. Once we've accumulated finances, we can then, as a management, we can go to divisions and buy a division, which we've already done. We've bought all those divisions, so we no longer need to buy divisions. But we can also upgrade. So, for example, if I wanted to upgrade the company currently, I'd have to have 750,000 coins to upgrade to the next level. But we're not worried about that right now because we're at level 4 at the current moment. We've got 60 slots. We've only got about 30 of those slots full. So there's no need to upgrade at the moment. We get 10% bonus on our coins because we're at level 3. We have a maximum of 4 partner slots. And if we upgrade, we get 14% coins as opposed to 10%. We get 6 maximum partner slots and we get up to 120 driver slots. And again, we don't need that many at the current moment because we've still got 30 something slots vacant. So if you want to join the VTM in PickUp, by all means do. We've still got quite a few spots left and we're looking for drivers all the time. You don't have to be experienced. It's all about having fun and helping each other out. All right. And so that's what we use coins for at the moment. I'll go back to finances. And as you can see, we're nowhere near the 750,000 to upgrade. And we don't want to at the current moment either. All right. And then in internal stats, we can have a look at the overview. And this basically shows today's overview, what's been done, how many kilometers have been driven, how many jobs have been done, and the profit for the company currently for the day. Okay. Then the month stats shows up here. How many jobs have been done for the month so far, how many kilometers have been driven so far, and what the current profit for the month is here. So as you can see, we're doing pretty good. And then you've got all the drivers. It tells us, well, actually, let me look in your one. Like because you're not being a driver, this is what you would see. Okay, good. You still see what I see. All right. So it just shows fines, average speed, driven distance, and deliveries profits, etc., down the side here. So you can always check that, and you can click on here to view the deliveries for that person if you wish to. And then down here it shows you the numbers of kilometers per month and or over the last 3 months by the looks of it so far. Boom, boom, boom. And the same here, number of deliveries per month. And as you can see, it goes down here because we're only partially into March at the moment, but that will go up as we get closer to the end of the month. Here is the internal ranking for our company. At the moment, the Tiger is at the top in ETS. Then we have Craig and then Barry. And as you go down, you can see, ooh, I'm in 7th. Here we go, Rob, Johnny Overload, and J-Dub. Top 10. Brinkley, Game Bear, Funnel. All these guys are great bunch of drivers, and we have a great deal of fun, and we help each other out in the game. Then this is for under 100 kilometers an hour. In other words, keeping to the speed limit and not going above that. Then you have the 101 to 180 kilometers an hour. Now that means that this is what they call race miles. So you've gone above the limit that PickUp sets for you, and therefore it doesn't. You lose basically 70% of your income because you've gone above it. Actually, no, I don't. I'd have to check into that. I will check into that, people. But I know that you lose 70% of your income if you turn the fines off. And I'm guessing that if you've broken the speed limit, that's classed as the same thing. And I'm only guessing that one. I'll have to check into that and maybe add something down in the description when I find out. But anyway, so that's for race miles, basically. These are the people that are currently in the top 7 positions in race miles. Then you also have World of Trucks, and this is for anybody that's taken part in any of the World of Trucks events, and currently in ETS2 for this month, no one has. So that's not a problem. ATS, all right, so currently for this month, people have taken part in the World of Trucks events, and these are their positions in that. Then we go back to the 0 to 130 kilometers, and you can see here the top 10 positions in the company. And then again, you go to your World of Trucks, and there's people taking part in that, like I said. So you can check out all your rankings there. Then underneath, you have the rankings for the overall of all the companies in PickUp. So you would then go to your rankings and go to the companies, and now you can see where you rank compared to other companies in PickUp. Now, we've only been going for quite a short period of time, and we've only got like I say, about 28, 30 drivers currently, and we're currently in 8th position in American Truck Simulator, which is pretty good considering that we're only a relatively new company in PickUp. And then you can have a look in the 131 to 180, and we're currently in 7th position there. And then you can have a look in World of Trucks. I don't think we even show up in that one at the moment. Oh no, there we go. We're in 23rd position in World of Trucks. And again, in ETS, we're lacking in that one. Again, I don't think we'd show up in there at all. No. And that's why we need more ETS drivers, because we're not doing too well in the ranking because we don't have a lot of ETS2 drivers. So if you're an ETS2 driver or prefer ETS2, by all means, come along and join our PickUp and help us out. It'd be greatly appreciated. And you'll have a lot of fun doing it. Oh, there we are. Yeah, we're in 81st position, 81st position, which isn't too bad considering we don't have many ETS2 drivers. Don't know if we rank in here. Oh yeah, 36th. Oh, not bad. Okay. So that's the rankings. And then down here we've got lists of drivers and company lists and the wiki, which is useless. And then you've got a link to their Discord here. So if you want to ask any more in-depth questions, you can click on here and go to their Discord and ask them there. Or you can come to our Discord and ask us there. So now the logbook. The logbook is pretty easy to work out. It simply shows you your cargoes, the origin, in other words, the pickup point, the destination where you're dropping off, the driven distance, and the money that you make on that job. Then it tells you how long it's taken you to do the job. And it gives a ranking. I'm not sure what that is because I've never seen anything in there. But anyway, so to view the delivery, you just simply click on the blue eye icon, and it will give you a detailed explanation of that delivery. It will tell you when it was delivered. It will then tell you how long it was and when it started and when it was delivered, the difference in times. And then it tells you what the cargo is, where it was from. It was from Nice through to Sibiu. It tells you the sender, trade box, and the recipient, login sticks, the distance planned, and the actual distance. Now, that's something you've got to remember. Remember that even though it says that you're going to be traveling 1,846 kilometers, you might not necessarily do all those kilometers. You might end up doing under those kilometers. Again, keep that in mind. This will be very important when we start talking about divisions and contracts. All right? So even though it tells you that your distance will be 1,846 kilometers, I only drove 1,574 kilometers. And that is because PickUp and Trucksbook and Truckie all calculate the driven distance different to the game. The game will say this, but Trucksbook, PickUp, and Truckie will say something similar to this. Then if there's any damage, it will tell you there, and it will tell you the weight of that cargo. Then down here, it will tell you the truck. It will tell you how much fuel you used. It will tell you the maximum speed you reached. It tells you how much EXP you cost, whether or not you refueled, and therefore there would be a fuel cost. Was fines on or off? In this one, I had them off, so I would say that what I was doing there was I was probably testing something out, so I turned the fines off. So that gives you an idea of why on that job I only earned 157 for such a long job. It's normally be a lot more than that. So I only got 30% of what the job was worth because I had the fines turned off. So that's how easy the logbook is. And then down below it shows you the stats for the month in your logbook, how many deliveries you've done, how much fuel you've used, the distance you've driven, and what the fuel costs were. All right, so that's the logbook. It's extremely simple. Now, the dispatcher, like I say, I don't use it. I'm not even going to go into it because I recommend that you don't use it because it's not working that well. If you choose to use it, you do so at your own risk. And if you need help with it, get onto the Discord and ask there, or if you're not on my Discord, you can pop in there and ask the guys in there that actually use it. They might be able to help you. Divisions. Okay, so now with divisions, what I'll do, I'll go back here to the new one. This is where it comes in the things that I was talking about, the driven distance and the actual distance. Expected distance and the actual distance. This is where it comes into play. So, for example, say you're in fuel division, you're doing contracts there. You will see that there is a kilometers that they expect you to do. This is the minimum they want you to do this delivery. Okay, so always pay attention to these kilometers. If you're a member of our PickUp, on our Discord channel, J-Dub, one of our drivers, posts a little rundown of what jobs are available in the contracts. Let me bring this over. And then you can see this. Get it. There we go. So if you look here, for example, on this one, he's put what the delivery is, the kilometers, the miles, then the suggested kilometers and miles. And the reason this is a suggested kilometers is because if you do this, you know that by doing that amount of kilometers or that amount of miles that you've got these ones covered. So we always suggest that you do more than the expected or suggested miles or kilometers distance. Therefore, by doing these, you will make sure that you've covered that distance, because Trucksbook and PickUp and Truckie calculate the distance different. So we always tack on more so that we've covered exactly or more than what's required, and that way the job will count. All right, so always look at this. If you're in our PickUp division, you can then come here, have a look, and always basically look at these ones and look for your jobs that have this amount of kilometers or miles, and then you're covered. All right, so for example, in this one here, 2,000 kilometers, for example, without even looking at the suggested kilometers that JW puts up there, I would tack on at least another 200 or 300 kilometers onto that to make sure that I've covered it. Same with this. Instead of 2,500, I'd look for a 2,800. Same here. The 750, I would look for 1,000. Again, 2,800. This one, I'd look for 1,200. So with contracts, when you're looking at contracts, let's go back. You can choose from any of these that are active, because what we do is we put all drivers into the division that is currently active. These ones aren't active at the moment. There's no contracts in there, so you can't go into them. Okay, so there's nothing that you can actually do with these contracts. There's no active contract. All right, the ones that are green are normally got the active contracts, but this one's just finished, so it's still green, just showing that it's just finished. But you can't get in there because all the jobs are done. But here, if you click on this one, you can see that the contracts are still going, and you can then judge for yourself, okay, there's 11 jobs to be done, and this only one's been done, so there's 10 left. So now I'll go back into the game. I'll have a look for a petrol job, or a motor oil job, or a job to Frankfurt, etc., etc. Have a look at what the cargo is, what the distance is, and then just go into the game and choose a job that will cover that. Or if you want to use a dispatch to do it, you can use Truckee, because in Truckee it's a lot easier. If you've got the Truckee app, you can create your own dispatch jobs there, or you can do it in Trucksbook if you feel that you're capable of doing that. I'm not here to explain how to do Trucksbook. This is for PickUp. PickUp, like I say, I wouldn't use the dispatch in PickUp because it is very temperamental. In ATS, you can have a look through here, see how many jobs are being done, and pick one of the jobs. Again, you can just go into the game and pick a job, find one that's going to Oxnard that is say 2,050 kilometers long to cover your kilometers, and just choose any cargo going to Oxnard. That's how simple that contract is. And again, you can do that in game. Just choose from the freight market, or even if you want to do a cargo market, that's up to you. In other words, any of your normal jobs in the game that you pick, as long as it covers going to Oxnard and it is 2,350 kilometers long, you'll be able to clock up that one for this division. All right, so that's basically how divisions work. So divisions are simply contracts that we take, and we've got 7 days to complete them. You can see that there's 5 days left in this one. If we don't complete the jobs at the current stage that it's at, we will get fined. In other words, we will lose 96,117 points. But if we complete them, we get whatever the reward was, and I can't remember what it was on this one. But let's, for example, say it might be 30,000 coins or something. It doesn't show you up here, and I've been onto the developer and asked why we don't see what we can get when we complete the job, which would be helpful. But when you first take the contracts, it does show you what the reward will be. But once you start the contract, it disappears and becomes a current reward. And I've never worked out why he did it that way. But anyway, it still works. And you get really good rewards at the end of the contracts. You also, just to explain a bit further, you also get your coins per job that you do. It's not like you have to wait for the contracts to be finished and you get a percentage of the contract. You still get your normal coins, less a little bit, as you do the jobs during the contract. So if you did a job to Oxnard that was 1,500 kilometers and you normally get 200 coins, you would still get maybe 180 coins out of that in your own personal balance. But that job then goes towards this contract, and at the end of the contract, because these have all been done, we get a major reward for the company on a whole. Okay, some of the questions that we've been getting. How do we go about getting assigned to a division? You don't need to worry about that because we're automatically adding people to a division as contracts become available. So you will be in whatever division the contract that is available at the time is, if you know what I mean. So let's say, for example, fuel division starts a contract, you will automatically be placed in that and you can start doing fuel division runs and doing the deliveries for them. So don't fear, you will always be in a division, and you don't have to take part in that division. You don't have to take part in the contracts if you don't wish to. There's nothing that is mandatory in argy-bargy transport. It's all about having fun. So if you feel like you want to, you can. If you don't, you can just do whatever you want. But we just remember that we do have competitions and we run events and whatnot, and prizes are given. So to take part in those competitions and win prizes or giveaways, you need to take part in whatever that is. And most of the time that'll either be contracts, or in Trucksbook, it'll be something in Trucksbook that will notify you about either on Discord or Trucksbook or PickUp, whichever is relevant. All right, so next question. Can drivers belong to multiple divisions? No, not now. And they could never do that because once you're in a division, you can only be transferred to another one. So you can't be in more than one division. It's plain and simple. So again, because the way we're working it now, we're only running one division at a time, or one division's contracts at a time. And that way you will be automatically put in that division. It gives more variety to your game because you're not stuck in the one division all the time. You'll be transferred from division to division, and therefore there'll be more variety, like I say. And it gives more of a purpose to your deliveries because you're helping complete contracts and earning coins for our pickup. Will we stay with Trucksbook or are we moving to pickup? No, they complement each other. Trucksbook is more of the logistics side of the VTC, and thus it is called a VTC, a virtual tracking company. And pickup is more of a management side where it's coins and finances and the such, and therefore it's called a VTM, a virtual tracking management system. But we won't be moving from one to the other unless there's a great demand to do it, unless we find that one is way better than the other. At the moment, they complement each other. They have things that the other ones don't, and therefore we're using both. And we prefer, if possible, for everybody that's on Trucksbook to move to pickup as well, because you could, if you do a job in ATS or ETS2, this is another question that I've been asked, is if I do a job in ATS or ETS2 and I have both pickup and Trucksbook, which one does it get logged in? It gets logged in both because you're a member of both, and therefore if you do job A, it will be logged in Trucksbook and in pickup. So you get both. You get a double whammy. You get the logistics side of it, where your logbook in Trucksbook is updated and shows job A, and on pickup your logbook is updated and shows job A plus the coins that you make. So you can drive one job and it gets logged in both applications. It will get logged in Trucksbook and pickup. So you don't have to worry about it being only logged in one. Now, there are reasons why jobs won't be logged in certain things, and I'll cover them in a tick. But to answer that question, we're not moving from Trucksbook. We're going to stay with Trucksbook because it is extremely good VTC application. And we're staying with pickup at the current moment unless something drastically changes, which I doubt it will. So therefore, if you do a job, it registers in both and it gets calculated in both. Somebody said it looked like the contracts were all in ETS2. Will there be any in ATS? The contracts cover both ETS and ATS and always have. So that's a misconception. There's always been ATS and ETS2 jobs in the contracts, and there always will be. Equal amount. Although, yeah, I see what that question meant. There was a period of time where it appeared that there were, say, 11 deliveries per job in ETS and maybe only 3 per job in ATS, but that was because we were testing things out. But now, currently, you will find there'll be an equal amount in ETS2 and ATS. Because, again, being new to pickup, we're getting used to everything, and now we're finding a balance, and therefore everything should balance out. Somebody asking about, this was Louis, asking about dispatch may be broken in pickup. Yeah, as far as dispatch goes, it seems to be broken in pickup at the moment because it's not actually broken. It's just that it's very picky because it's pickup, and you have to get everything perfect for it to work. It doesn't like certain maps, etc., etc. Yes, it works better in Trucksbook, but again, Trucksbook isn't completely reliable. It can stuff up too, and it's a little bit picky. But if you prefer to use Trucksbook, yes, you can use Trucksbook to dispatch jobs, and it will still work in pickup, and those jobs will still count in pickup towards everything. They will count towards your normal logs, and they'll count towards your contracts if they're a contract job. You can also dispatch through Truckee app, and it will still show up in all of those apps as well. It'll show up in pickup and show up in Trucksbook. So no matter where you dispatch from, it will still show up as long as you have the apps running in the background. So that's important. When I showed you how to set up the app, make sure that it's automatically starts when you start the computer. That way you know it's always running in the background. It doesn't eat up much resources. So if you're worried about that, it won't do that. It will eat up very small amount of your resources. I have Trucksbook running, I have pickup running, and I have Truckee running most of the times. And I don't see any performance issues except for maybe with Truckee app, which I turn off in convoys because it does hit my performance there. Apart from that, I have Trucksbook and pickup running all the time. Okay, another question I got about convoys. Do the jobs count if you're in a dedicated server doing a convoy? Yes, they count. Convoys though, we go wild and have a lot of fun. So you may not make a lot of money or coins in pickup if you're in a convoy because we might be speeding, we might have accidents, we might break a few rules, do a lot of damage. You may end up losing coins, but they do still count in convoys. It's just you may not earn as much or you may lose some. Okay, another question I get I get quite a few questions about divisions. Why would jobs not count in divisions, and why would jobs not count on pickup? They can both be one and the same. So the first thing you'll need to do is make sure that the app is running. That's one of the main things. And to do that, if you want, you can come down here to your hidden icons down here. As you can see down here in the bottom right. And then you'll see the pickup emblem. Right click on that, click open, and it will show you that it is running. Another way to find out if it's running is if it's minimized like so. You can come down the bottom, have a look in your taskbar. It should be sitting there if it's running, and then you can click on it and it will tell you that it's already running. But if you want to actually see it, come down here in your hidden icons and find it, right click on it, and then you can open it and have a look. You can go to your logbook or whatever you want to check if it's running, and if this is open, it's running. So that's one of the main reasons why jobs won't show up in the pickup logbook, because you've forgotten to turn this on. That's why I go to the settings and I have it run at startup, so that it starts every time I start the computer. I know it's going to be running in the background, and I can just forget about it. And again, like I say, you won't take a big performance hit on it because it uses very few resources. So that's one of the main reasons that you'll find. The other reason could be in the settings again, that you've got the paths wrong. So make sure you've got the paths right, as I explained. If the paths are right, you should be fine. And once they're correct, then you know that they're logging the telemetry for your game. So again, make sure this is running. Go to your settings, make sure your paths are correct, and everything should be fine. So that's number one reason why you won't get them to log in either just the normal pickup or the pickup divisions. Number two, the reason that sometimes you'll find a job won't register. Let's take, for example, we'll come in here Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, for example, if you have a look at this one here in the bottom right-hand corner, and it says diesel, and it currently says that 10 of the 11 jobs have been taken. Now you might go, oh, well, that means there's one left. So I'll take that. In the meantime, while you're talking about taking it, someone else has taken the job. So they've started the job before you, and therefore will probably finish the job before you. So while you're signing up for this job and finding the job in either a dispatch or in-game, somebody else is actually doing it. So when you complete it, he's already completed or she's already completed their job. So therefore, that will now register that job is completed, and yours won't register because they already were doing it. So, and unfortunately, unless you're in communication with all 20, 30 other drivers doing these contracts, you won't know. So be warned that if it's that close to being finished, that it may not register for you. In fact, even if it's only 2, it may not register for you because the other 2 jobs have been taken. So it's a risk you take when it's that close to the end of the job, that you may be overlapping with somebody else, and if they finish before you, you won't be logged in as making that job. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory. If you go in here, though, you're very highly unlikely for that to happen because there are so many jobs waiting to be done. Same here, same here. So if it was me, I probably would, if it wasn't that long a job, so it was one of these that we're at 10, I would take it because it's not going to take you too much or too long to find out if someone else is doing it. And if they're not, at least you've got it done. If they are, if somebody else is doing the job and completes it before you, you can then go, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I got some money for it. I'll move on to this one. All right. So remember, if you're that close, it's possible that it won't register because somebody else is doing the job before you. Now, one of the other reasons that it might not register is because you don't do the completed kilometers or the expected kilometers. Like I said before, if you're doing, say, a job that's 1,750 kilometers is the required kilometers for the job. If you pick a job that is exactly 1,750 kilometers, it's highly likely that you won't get it to register because PickUp, Trucksbook, and Truckie all register the mileage that is done or kilometers that are done differently than the in-game mileage. The in-game mileage is actually more of a guesstimate of what it will take, whereas PickUp, Truckie, and Trucksbook all do the actual mileage that is done. All right, so again, if you're going to choose a job that's 1,750 kilometers, add at least 200 or 300 kilometers onto it. Make sure that you're covering the actual required kilometers, because if you add 200 or 300 kilometers to it in game, you'll find by the time you get to the end of it, you'll be more closer to the actual kilometers expected, the 1,750, than you will be to the, say, 2,050 that you've chosen. You'll probably find that by the end of the trip, it'll be more likely 1,800 by 1,850 or something like that. So again, make sure you add 200 or 300 kilometers on top of whatever your job is to cover any discrepancies. And that way you'll be sure that the job will register in the contracts. So that's another reason that it may not register, because you've done under the required kilometers. The other thing too is to make sure that whatever the job name is, for example, it's probably not a good one in here. Let me just see if I can find. In biohazard, for example, can I get into that? Yeah, but it's not showing a contract. But for example, in biohazard, there's jobs for mercuric and mercuric acid. And you've got to make sure that if you're taking the job, if it says mercuric, that you don't take a mercuric acid job. And the same with potassium. And don't quote me, I'm just trying to remember this. I think potassium is the same. There's potassium chloride, and then there's potassium. If it says that it's a potassium chloride job, make sure that you actually take a potassium chloride job and not a potassium job, because it's not one and the same. They are different cargoes. So make sure whatever the job name is, whatever it may be, motor oil, make sure that it's not just oil. Make sure it's motor oil. Petrol is a different one. Petrol can be gasoline. So just to add another spanner in the work, if you can't find petrol in the jobs, you can use gasoline, because they are the same. So pay particular attention to the names of your jobs before you take them, because, for example, like I say, crude oil, if it's just oil, then it may not register because it needs to be crude oil. Solvents, it can't be purple solvent, it has to be solvents. You know what I'm saying? So make sure it is exactly what it says on the label, because if you don't, it won't register. So that's another reason. If you're worried about it not logging normal jobs, forgetting about the divisions, why isn't logging a normal job? There's a couple of reasons. Like I explained, you might not have your app on. You may have the paths to your games incorrect. But the other reason is your internet connection may either have gone down or may be intermittent. If it's intermittent, it's losing connection with the telemetry server. Therefore, your job won't register. So if you've got a dicky internet connection, then it's possible that that's one of the reasons why it's not registering. And that's about all I can think of right now. But if you've got any other questions that you would like to ask about PickUp, please leave them either in the comments below, or go over to the Discord and ask them there. Or even if you're on a PickUp, you can ask them in PickUp by just messaging me through PickUp. So hopefully that explained a few things for you, and you can use this to help you further your PickUp career. And yeah, hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.